So day 6 of Roland Garros comes to an end, and it's been plain sailing on the women's side with a lot of the favourites going through. But on the men's side, there's been some real struggles. Carlos Alcaraz being really pushed by Damir Dzumhur in the final match of the day. And also Lorenzo Musetti dropping a set against Navone. There's been some other 5-set matches as well on the men's side. We're going to be speaking about it all, so stay tuned. That's right, and before we go anywhere, make sure you've hit a like and subscribe to the channel. Well, Carlos Alcaraz, where else can we start? It was the last match of the day. It finished pretty late, probably around about midnight, I would say, in Paris. But what a match. I mean, I would call this so far, for me, out of all the matches I've watched, this was probably match of the tournament so far. And both players played their part. I never saw this being as competitive as it was. But Damir Dzumhur, I think I probably cursed myself by saying probably in the draw preview that I didn't think he was probably going to do that much in this tournament. And he's completely surprised me. The commentary team were constantly saying throughout about some of his losses in recent times, how he's been defeated by players who are below 200 in the world and been struggling in some challenger events. But it just goes to show tennis is a very funny game, because when you get into the top 100, even if you get into the top, say, 300 tennis players, everybody is very good, especially the top 100. You break the top 100, it's a massive thing for a tennis player. And Damir Dzumhur, I think he's around 69 in the world at the moment. I thought his performance was one of the best I've seen against Carlos Alcaraz on a clay court that I can remember. I know that Marizan took a set from Carlos Alcaraz, but this 4-set match was nothing like that one. Alcaraz, yes, came out and went to a 2-set lead, but the fight from Damir Dzumhur in the 3rd set to come and win that 3rd set took some real like digging into the depths of his desire on a tennis court. And especially with the majority of the crowd, I know that some of them were, well, most of them were wanting Alcaraz to win. Most of them were probably wanting a longer match as well. So he got a bit more support as the match was going on. And as he took that 3rd set and it went up a break in the 4th set, you were thinking, hang on a minute. Can he sustain this level? Is Carlos going to come back and be able to cause him problems? He did. And Alcaraz just has multiple layers to his game and multiple levels that he can push himself to. And I think the deeper the match goes on, it shows. And as good as Dzumhur was in this, and we could talk about this match for so long, because even in that 4th set, he got broken, and it went back to 3-3. Alcaraz held. I'll bring it up on the screen here. He held 4-3. Then he broke again. Then he got broken back, and then you thought maybe Damir was going to be able to hold. We might see the end of the set, but it was just Alcaraz looking too strong. The scoreboard pressure on Damir as well was very heavy at that stage. A lot of pressure to have to face, and Alcaraz hit him big. Some of the rallies between these two guys were incredible. Just when you think like, oh, he's never going to get that one back. Oh my word, the next shot, he can't get that one back either. It was like that so many times. Little flicks just by the net. They were sending each other the wrong way on so many occasions. It was a beautiful display of like the art of tennis out there on a court tonight. And I'm so glad I got a chance to watch it. Obviously, working throughout the day, there's only so much tennis I can watch. I watch it on my lunch break. I try to have some screens around so that I can be keeping an eye on it. But this one, I'm glad I got to watch it in its entirety, because it was a treat. Carlos Alcaraz, it's like the gift that keeps on giving, isn't he? But you can only do that if you have a good dance partner. And Damir Dzumhur was definitely that. And like Tennis One say here, the first 90 minutes saw Alcaraz cruising, but midway through the third, his level dipped for 5 minutes, and the Bosnian showcased some brilliant anticipation, touch, and speed. Yeah, I mean, touch should be the word as well. I didn't realize how good Damir Dzumhur's drop shot and like the deft touch he has for volleying as well. The disguise and then just the softest of touches just to drop it over the net. Yeah, I mean, I think he played the match of his life, really. Despite the loss, his stock rose in this match. And I quite like this tweet that Tennis Letter put out, said, round of applause for Damir, 2 sets down against the defending champion Alcaraz. He showed many great qualities. For those unfamiliar with his story, he was born in the middle of war. Before he was born, his pregnant mother bravely traveled through snipers and barricades to reach a hospital in Sarajevo in Bosnia-Herzegovina. Damir was born shortly after. She couldn't leave the hospital until the shelling had settled. When she did leave the hospital, she saw on TV later that night that the hospital was almost completely destroyed. His dad was a tennis coach from 94 to 97. The small tennis facility where he coached was the only place for people to play tennis. The floor of the facility was unconventional as it was made of wood. Wow. I mean, that's something you don't hear ever, really. During the darkest times of the war, refugees who lived in the separate part of the building took the wooden floor apart to build fires and stay warm. I mean, it's just crazy to think it's just another world. The windows were also shattered, but still, children like Damir continue to play tennis. The fact that he's made it as far as he has in his career says a lot about his character and his upbringing. He's the only Bosnian man in the top 100, and tonight he got to show his talent, determination, and heart on one of the biggest stages in tennis. So much to be proud of. I totally agree. Coming into this tournament, I've watched him in so many challenger events. I've seen him in lots of smaller ATP events. He's obviously been on the tour for quite some time. I've never really warmed to him. Tonight I did. Really, really impressed. And hopefully he can use this as sort of a catalyst to move forward in his career and maybe move up the rankings, maybe break the top 50. Who knows? Or maybe it is just one of those nights where everything just was working and it was the level of opposition down the other end and the occasion that made him raise his level. Just try and harness that and try and bottle it and take it out on court next time, Damir. That's what I'd say. Be proud of yourself, though. Great performance at Roland Garros. Alcaraz through, though. I mean, it was 4 sets. Anybody just looking at it would have thought, oh, well, Alcaraz is just through in 4. That's not too bad. Just dropped a set. It wasn't that simple. Definitely wasn't. He will now face Ben Shelton in the next round. And Ben Shelton took out Gigante, the person who defeated Tsitsipas in the round before. Shelton dispatched him with relative ease. One of the more simple matches on the men's side today, a straight sets victory for Ben Shelton. You can see here just a breaker set, really. 6-3, 6-3, 6-4. Not really much to report on that one. I didn't get a chance to watch it, so I'm not going to fill this section with too much more talk about that match. I'll talk about the ones which I did get to catch, and I got to catch a little bit of Musetti. Obviously, I saw everybody's going to be saying, "Of course, you saw Musetti." Yeah, and I didn't just see his bicep; I saw the rest of his match as well. I didn't watch the last set, but I saw the first. I'd say the first 2.5 sets. I think once he'd won that second set and he was on his way in the third, I had a feeling he was going to go on and win it anyway, so I could get back to work and put my concentration elsewhere. But I thought that this was a completely different performance to the style of the Alcaraz match, though. In the match with Musetti, I thought he started maybe a little bit slow, and Navone started really fast and looked brilliant. Navone, very, very talented clay court player. But as soon as Musetti gets into his stride, very, very hard to stop him from winning this match. He won it very convincingly, 6-4, 6-3, 6-2 in that final one, getting better as the match went on. I'm just really impressed with Lorenzo Musetti. I thought when I saw that first set, I thought, oh no, please don't be the banana skin, but just goes to show how much he's grown. Didn't let it affect him and just plodded on, just kept on playing his tennis. Brilliant, brilliant performance. We'll look forward to seeing him in the next round. Let me tell you who he will be playing in the next round as well. 1 second. Should know this off the top of my head. Yeah. Oh, this is a good segue. So, because he'll be playing the guy with possibly one of the shots of the tournament, definitely the shot of the day, Holger Rune. Wow. What a performance it was from him. What a match from him as well. He ended up having to go all the way to 5 sets with Quentin Alice, the Frenchman, who really, really good competitor. Obviously, being in France helped. Rune didn't have any support from the crowd, but he didn't let that affect him. In fact, I think he used it as fuel to help himself play better. And I think that this one shot just showed the desire that he had. Obviously, in this rally, there was a brilliant shot from Quentin Alice where he just flicks the ball all the way over to the side, and you see he hit the ball from around about here. I mean, it's just insane, really. He get it before it hit the floor and get it round the net post. Incredible. I mean, well done, Holger Rune. I think he was like harnessing some UTS exhibition style tennis there. I think we've seen Bublik do one of those on the UTS as well. But exciting stuff. Holger Rune playing some great tennis. He knows there's an opportunity because it's really between him and Musetti, I would say. And that is the next matchup. Can't wait for that. And Gil Gross sort of summing it up, really. So I can't believe how big a difference there is from Holger Rune Wednesday versus today on the discipline front. It's a hot day with an unfriendly crowd instead of a cool night, neutral crowd. That's my best shot of making sense of it. Cheers, Gil. We like that. It doesn't make any sense, but I don't think Holger Rune even makes sense to himself sometimes in his own head. I don't think he can predict what's going to happen when he goes out there on the tennis court. I thought he just played brilliantly when it mattered. In that 5th set is when he needed to show up. He did show up. He was 2-1 down, you got to remember, in this one. So won the last 2 sets. And he even had one of the French fans ejected from the crowd in this match, I believe. Someone who was flailing their arms at him and being rude or aggressive towards him, and then they reviewed it, and then they decided to remove the fan from the ground. Let me know if there's any more news on that. Yeah, but I didn't get the chance to watch the finish of this match, but I did get to see a lot of the meat of the match in the middle, and I thought Holger Rune was playing pretty well throughout, pretty consistent. And I think if you're a Holger Rune fan out there, very encouraging, because one thing is in a Grand Slam is a 5-set match, and you just don't want to see a player look like they're beaten at any time. On the men's side, it's always a lot different. It's like a completely different sport to the women's side when it comes to Grand Slams, because those first 2 sets, they don't really mean a lot. The last few, they definitely do. And definitely the 5th one, that means everything if you make it there. And well done to Holger Rune. He got the job done. He gets, I say a prize of Lorenzo Musetti in the next round. I mean, what a matchup that is. What a treat that we are in for. And Lorenzo Musetti, for a fourth-round matchup with Holger Rune, and the winner of that match will play either Daniel Altmaier or Francis Tiafoe. I mean, Francis Tiafoe is having a fantastic tournament. Hasn't dropped a set yet. This is no word of a lie. I know I haven't really been speaking about Francis Tiafoe at all in this tournament. Maybe I should have a little word on Francis, because I feel like he's one of the more likable players on the tour. Doesn't really get the press that he deserves. But it's his first Roland Garros round of 16. And every round I've had him going out. I'm not going to lie. I've been thinking that he's going to be losing. And he's won in straight sets. So it's not even close. I thought Korda would probably beat him. Nope. Straight sets again. Guaranteed I don't really know how the next match is going to go either. He's playing against Daniel Altmaier. And Altmaier, obviously, what a tournament he's having. Absolutely phenomenal. Just turns up at Roland Garros, it seems, Altmaier. A very, very good clay court player. Wish he could translate that a little bit more onto other surfaces. Don't really see it anywhere else. That was perhaps, I say, the biggest upset of the day. On odds, it was the biggest upset. It was a 2.5 for Daniel Altmaier. And the other one, Tiafoe, was a slight underdog, but not enough to really say much. I'm a bit surprised Tommy Paul was the underdog against Kalan Khachanov. That went to 5 as well. Tommy Paul, he is through as well. Another American. Did well to beat Khachanov. Shocked, really. I didn't spot that one before they played, that Tommy Paul was the underdog. I didn't get a chance to watch that match. It looks like it was a very, very long match as well, being 5 sets. Let me just have a quick check to see how long it was. 4 hours, 11 minutes. Wow. I mean, who is going to be playing who in the next round there? Let me just have a look. For Tommy Paul, will be playing Alexei Popyrin. And Popyrin, another player who really needs to be spoken about. I mean, it's not been the toughest draw for Popyrin. Obviously, someone we've spoken to on the channel before. But he's had Nishioka. He had straight sets, 2-love up until Nishioka retired. Then he had Tabilo, straight sets. Nuno Borges, straight sets. Pretty flawless, really. Done well. And with Alex de Minaur leaving the tournament, sort of flying the flag a bit for Australia now, Alexei Popyrin. So well done to him. He'll fancy his chances against Tommy Paul. Tommy Paul may be tired. Tommy Paul's been to 5 sets twice now. So he's been 4 sets, 5 sets, 5 sets. And now he's up against someone who's gone straight sets every single match. And one of them wasn't even a full match. So a very interesting little section. That's the one with Alcaraz as well. It's Alcaraz versus Shelton. The winner of that will face Paul or Popyrin. So that's all I've really got to say about the men's today. Sorry if I've missed off any other matches. I mean, I didn't get a chance to watch some of them. I've only can really give you my full insight on the ones I did get to watch. And I think I've been pretty intensive on those ones. But we have to speak about some of the women as well. And despite the fact there were so many favourites winning on the women's side, doesn't seem as competitive. But I liked this. We had in a press conference before the big match of the day, obviously, and it was for Iga Swiatek. Iga winning her match against Christian. Great match. This one I watched as well. I thought that Christian really gave a great account of herself. But yeah, ultimately, when it got to 6-5 in that second set, you just sort of knew that scoreboard pressure always affects the lesser players, and Iga just got it done when she had to. But yeah, she got the crowd going, Christian. So fair play to her. If she hadn't had Iga in her section, she might have gone a lot further. But could have said that with anybody, really. Iga, in her press conference, they asked her, "Do you have a preference on who you want to play next?" Obviously, Ostapenko or Rybakina, and she said, "No." Then covered her mouth, laughing, said, "Am I a good liar? Let's say it doesn't matter." Oh my God, I couldn't play poker. Yep. Well, obviously, she would not want to play Ostapenko. and she would only want to play Rybakina. And it worked out for her because Jelena Rybakina did win and won in straight sets as well. 6-2, 6-2, really comfortable win. So Ostapenko won't be facing Iga. Iga will be happy or happier because playing Rybakina is no walk in the park either, because she has a very good head-to-head against Iga as well. I think the last couple of times they played, Iga may have got the better of her, but Rybakina seems to be coming back to a bit of form now. And if anybody can trouble or stop Iga Swiatek, it's Rybakina. Yeah, I think there's only a few ladies on tour who can do it, and she's definitely one of them. So Iga's under no illusions of what she's facing. She's going to try and bring her A game. The head-to-head between the two is 4 apiece. Yeah, Iga won their last 2 meetings, but Jelena beat her the last time they played on clay in Stuttgart last year. Yeah, like it says here, she looks like she's got her confidence back after winning the title in Strasbourg. Any more stuff here? Yeah, Iga, like I said, 24 consecutive matches and 17 consecutive sets at Roland Garros. Yeah, I mean, that's just crazy stats for Iga at Roland Garros. Is she playing herself into form? I think she looks really good. She's good at the points of matches when you need to be good, and I don't think she's wasting any energy on anything else. Get the first set out of the way, dispatch them in the second, however means. She's playing Rybakina next. Let me know in the comments section, who do you have winning that one? Do you think Iga's going to do it, or do you think Rybakina is the kryptonite for Iga Swiatek? I want to know your thoughts. I might put a preview video just for that match, to be honest, and give you my thoughts on that separately. Another person I'm going to talk about now is a match I did watch, and it was the first match of the day, and it is Zheng. She goes through against Victoria Mboko. Brilliant performance. Very difficult opponent. It was 6-3, 6-4. Wasn't all plain sailing as well. The first set consisted of 2 breaks of serve and 1 break of serve the other way. Zheng just getting it done. And then in the second set, it's a similar story. There was a break of serve to start, but then Mboko came straight back and broke to love. Yeah, both first service games in the second set were broken to love. And then as we were going through the set, there was another break to love as well. And then Zheng just managed to just hold on. There was quite a close service game at 4-3 where she had to save 3 break points, but very impressively saving them. The serve seems to get her out of trouble. The backhand looks really good down the line. I like the fact that she is able to hit the corners of the court with a lot of confidence. Don't really see her play too many drop shots, Zheng, but maybe that's just another part of her game she will add eventually. And once she's added that as well, even more danger for everybody else. But I thought that was a brilliant performance. There was a lot of people that thought that could be a potential banana skin for her. Didn't turn out to be the case. Now we get to see her in the next round. Obviously, she is my champion of Roland Garros. Let me just have a look at the draw to see who she will be playing next. She will be playing Samsonova. And Samsonova took out Yastremska in straight sets as well. As we just take a look at all of the women's results from today, you can see Samsonova there, very comfortable victory. Taking a look down the list, we had Anisimova defeating Towson, Sabalenka. I mean, they're all straight set victories on the women's. Not that competitive. Probably the most competitive match of the day was Svitolina against Pera. I know she was down a break in that first set, had to come back. But the only other match that I did manage to catch was a little bit of Paolini. And, well, I'm starting to lose adjectives to describe her because she is so consistent and she is so good. This one, she even went down a break early in the first set as well. She doesn't panic anymore. She just looks like she belongs at the top of the game. 6-4, 6-1, strong, confident, and 9 consecutive wins. Won 9 of her last 10 matches at Roland Garros, and the only loss was to Iga, 25th win of the year. Yeah, it's been an honor to watch her grow, and she's not done yet. She is definitely one of the favorites, I would say, for Roland Garros. I don't think that you're out of place saying that. She has to be. She's the Rome champion. She's defeating people with relative ease at the moment. Yes, you could probably look at who she's playing sometimes and say, oh, yeah, but she's only playing Starobtseva. She's only played Tomjanovic and Yuan. Yeah, but she's still the first match let her off. She had a little bit of a wobble, but still came through. The next 2 matches, she's looked really strong. So next up for Jasmine Paolini, let's just have a little look. Oh, 1 second. It will be Svitolina. Okay, so Alina Svitolina, what a matchup that'll be. Let me know in the comment section. How do you see that matchup going? Because Svitolina is another player who is excelling really at this portion of her career. And she really looks like it takes a very, very strong hitting player to get her off the court or out of a rally. And she just fights. She did it against Pero. You can see there 2 tie breaks came through in both of them. That's going to be a real entertaining match. The tournament is really hotting up right now, and I cannot wait for some of these matchups. Here we go. Let's have a look at what's on the agenda tomorrow. We'll have a look at the men's first, and I've just seen there, this is the first time I'm seeing this, Arthur Fils has withdrawn from the competition. Oh, my word. There you go. I'm supposed to be up to date on what's going on, but I did not see that. I'm not very up to date with the withdrawals. So let me have a little look. I don't know if anyone's put it into English, but there is a French. Yeah, I think he did put out a post. So I'm guessing it was a difficult decision. I can see there. Yeah, something to do. Yeah, obviously it must be some sort of injury. He has had to pull out of the tournament. Terrible news for France as well, because he was sort of the main man flying the flag. Now, after all of those other French players got knocked out, they could have done with Arthur Fils, but unfortunately, he is gone. Right, so we got Griekspoor versus Quinn. I expect Griekspoor to probably win that. Sinner Lehechka, that's a tasty one. Zverev versus Kaboli, another really exciting matchup. I know people are saying we're not speaking about Zverev enough. I feel that he's been winning pretty comfortably, as has Kaboli. So this is where it's going to really start getting difficult for both of them. And we definitely have something to say about that after that match. Bublik Rocha, who's going to be more tired out of those two? And then the big one, Fonseca versus Draper. Yes, that is the big one tomorrow. I cannot wait for that one. Oh, my word. Cancel all your plans. That one's going to be an absolute barn burner. And look at this. Look at the odds. Fonseca, 2.75. If you fancy a punt, and if you think that you want to make a little bit of money, I think that might be where the money is tomorrow. Jack Draper, if he doesn't turn up, Fonseca will be there to capitalize. But yeah, moving down, we got the 2 other Brits in action against each other, Fernley Norrie, and then finishing off the day with Djokovic versus Misalic. And on the women's, Mira Andreeva Putintseva, Kasatkina versus Badosa, Vondrousova Pegula. 2 French players playing each other, so they're guaranteed one in the next round. We've got Giacomo and Busson. We've got Kudermetova versus Alexandrova. We've got Hailey Baptiste Balsas Maniello, Goff versus Boskova, and then the 2 Americans, Madison Keys versus Sophia Kenin. But that's day 6 action rounded up. Let me know your favorite match of the day in that comment section and tell me your thoughts about Alcaraz, Musetti, and about Damir Dzumhur. What did you make of him? Oh, I thought it was an amazing performance. Anyway, that's it for me. Time to go and hit the sack and get ready for more action starting in the morning. So if you haven't done so, smash a like, subscribe, and we'll see you tomorrow for more Roland Garros action.